In this episode, my friend Nilsson and I answered more of your questions about fostering, adoption, and raising kids. So before I became a foster dad, I didn't really know how to be a dad. I didn't have a manuscript. I didn't have anything, but I had two things. One, I was always yearning to be a dad. The other, I desired to change the lives of the most vulnerable, who are children in the foster care especially. So I knew with those two, I could jump in, and I did. And along the way, I've learned so much that have helped me to be the best dad that I can be. Also, along the way, I've got to know you. You matter to us. You've changed my life. In some way, as a single dad, I've always felt like you're there. Some nights when things are not good, I read your comments and they change my attitude, but also remind me that I'm not alone. And so that's why you matter. And so for me, sharing this is more to share the little wisdom or things I've learned along the way, that you can also share them with someone that matters to you. That maybe you might decide to be a foster dad or a foster mom, that you learn a few things that I've learned along the way, that you get to change a life for someone else as well. And so I'm about to answer all the questions in part 2. And so I would like you to join me.
Kate has a question. What books did you read or how did you prepare to adopt teenagers? That would be for you.
Yes, that would be for me.
I haven't had teenagers so far, so.
So each child is an individual. Each child is different. So there's no one book or one rule you can learn. Like it's a little impossible.
Yeah.
But you get to know them, and then you go research. Hey, my kid has this behavior or thinks this way. Then you go look for resources to help you understand how to navigate their lives. But before then, you don't know, because you never know what child you will get. The child might have mom issues or dad issues or just doesn't like anyone at all. So how do you have a book that addresses all that? No, but you get to have the child, and then along the way you figure out, things they need to be. So for example, I've never had I have teens, so I have to have teens. I love really helping teens, But if they're LGBT, like how do I know how to love them and help them through, So, but you get to first get the child and know what issues they have, and then alongside you learn. Yes.
All right. Poe asks, where is the child normally when you get the call? Police station, office, or other home? It varies. I have kids that came straight from the mom's home. I've had kids that came from another family member's home. I've had babies that came straight from the hospital. I've had kids that came, I don't know, like from anywhere, really. So,
they can come from anywhere, So usually the kids have to be in a safe place as they make a phone call. Or sometimes, they're at the police station or at the hospital.
Yeah.
But during that time, they are looking for a foster parent to take them. So it can be anywhere.
It can be anywhere.
You never know where they come from. So, yep. All right.
Aaron asks, what is the reasoning behind placing a kid with the foster family? Space, locations, personality. It's definitely not going to be personality, because
no one
you
knows
don't know what the
personality
personality would be like. They don't know what your personality would be like. So space, it can be space too, because, if, for example, I take a lot of sibling groups, usually 3, and we have 2 biological kids. So I have to have 3 beds available for the 3 kids, So other people don't have the beds available. So yes, it's going to depend on space, in your house, if you have beds available for the children. Location, yes, because I'm in Union County, so they only place kids with us. They are within Union County, so it's within your county in my situation, because we're with the SS.
Right.
But so.
Yeah, so for me, so at first I could take 3. And then once I got 1, then I could take 2. Right. Now I have 2, so I can take 2. So it's how much space you have in your home that you can take. But also DSS has a policy of how many children you can have in your home.
Yeah.
So that limits on how many you can have. Location, for me, I'm with agency, so I can have any child within the entire state. Well, for her, she can only have kids within her county.
Yeah.
Personality, as she said, no. You get to know the personality once they arrive.
Once they're here.
Oh, wow.
Once they're here, you find out what personality is like.
Yes. All right.
All right. Miss Maware asks, what do you typically do on the first day or night? So as I mentioned before, so we try to make them comfortable, try to read a book, ask them if they want some milk before they go to bed, let them watch a little TV, you try to be a little bit more relaxed the first day or the first night because they're coming in, they don't know you. So you want to just make them feel comfortable. So, we read a story, we put them some like lullabies if they're little to sleep with. And we try to give them a little stuffy or a little blanket, something to just make them feel secure. And obviously you have to be available because that first night, they might be waking up a few times in the middle of the night. So you just have to kind of be available and know that it's going to happen,
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So, you want them to be comfortable. Usually for me, I make sure that their bag they came with is nearby, so is there a blanket? Is there a toy? Is there a book that they came with that they have to sleep with, to make sure that it's right there. For me, I also take all the kids, so I'll sleep in the living room because I think I'm nervous. Like I want to make sure that they didn't walk out of the house or go anywhere or try to do something that I wasn't prepared for. So usually I stay for 2 nights. I stay downstairs or closer to their bedroom just to make sure that they're okay. But that's me. That's me trying to make sure that they do. And then for me, usually I have all the kids. The first day. I get to know who they are. The next day we go shopping together because I want them to show me, what's your favorite toothbrush? What's your favorite cereal? Yeah. So then I'm giving them something that they enjoy and love, but also they're helping me to understand what their needs are.
They feel welcome,
Absolutely, yes.
Cherie, what does the drop-off look like? What helps both the child coming and the family welcoming? The drop-off is usually very quick. Social worker comes, drops up the child, introduces the child to you, drops off all their stuff, asks if you need anything else, and then they leave. So, and what helps both the child coming? Well, you just have to be open.
I mean, that's it.
There's no secret formula here.
There's no formula. You have to be willing to. First of all, they have never met you,
No.
And because we get kids from different places, also you don't know the social work, so they just both come into your house that you don't know. Most time, if they have medication, they will tell you what medication they take, what days, what time, what grams, whatever it is. But usually it's quick.
Yeah, very quick.
And off to go.
Exactly.
Start the journey. Yes.
Blanca asks, who picks who? Foster parents picks kids or vice versa? No, neither way. So we don't pick them, they don't pick us. It's whoever foster parent is available, whoever foster family is available to take, X amount of kids. And no, the kids don't get to pick the foster parents either.
No, they don't get to. And you also have to know the need is so great, that there are more kids needing a home and less foster parents. So there's no choice. It's whoever is available that can take the child, but they don't get to pick at all.
No,
and that's why we love to be foster parents, so we can, we open our home so our kids can come, and that's where for us, when you go into choosing the race or the age range, like it can be really, you can miss an opportunity to changing a child's life because you're kind of stuck within.
Yeah, because you're limiting your options,
Absolutely, yes.
Jackie asks, after they are reunited, do they still reach out to you or keep in touch? I had it both ways. I've had a sibling set of 3 that lived with me for 2.5 years, and the mom didn't really want anything to do with us after they were reunited. So the mom chose not to have us stay in their lives. And the last sibling group that we had, thankfully, the parents are they really much want us involved. So the kids come spend the weekend with us, and the parents like it because they get to have a little break. It's all new, and it's a lot, when they come back to their home, even if they're going to their biological parents. They're still trying to adjust from that transition period from like leaving a foster home to going into their biological family. So yes, it happens both ways. It happens where the parent just don't want you anymore involved, and that's sad for foster parents. But I really had a very good experience with this last one because we still get to be in their life. We talk to them very often on the phone, with text. My kids get to play with them, little games online, even though they're not together in person. But so it's it can go both ways.
Yeah, it's all about the parents when they choose to, and we give them space as well.
Absolutely.
When the kids go back home, we want to kind of stay away and let them kind of let us in as they feel like. But it really depends on the parents. It's up to them to. We do the best we can.
Exactly.
We always want to keep in touch.
But we have to respect, their wish.
Their wish. We have to respect that. Hard, I can tell you, really hard.
Very hard.
But we get to respect their wish as well.
Amani would like to know, how often do they check on the kids, or if at all? Yes, they do check on the kids. Once a month, the social worker will, with the pandemic now, the social worker was doing video calls where she would see how the kids are, they would see us with the kids. She also asked to see the kids' bedroom, So yes, they do check-ins with the foster parents like once a month.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a requirement that they have to see the child and make sure that they are well once a month. So for me, I go through the agency. That means I have my agency has to check on me, as well as DSS directly check on me. But also depends also the kids' needs. Let's say if there were disability for the child, a social worker who deals with that might call in. So it depends, but mostly minimum one.
At least once a month.
Yeah, they check in and they talk to the kids too. So not just you as a parent, but to the kids as well.
Pedro would like to know, do you have to pay any fees? Also, how long does it take to complete the process before being certified? The process, as I said, you have to do the 10 weeks of MAP training. You have to do background check. So I don't know, it can take months. I'm going to say at least 6 months, maybe.
Right.
At least for us, our license gets, after they have all the paperwork and the background check and all of that, they do a visit to the home. They have the fire department come to your home too, to check if you have like fire extinguisher or like, carbon monoxide sensor. They check on everything. So it can be a long process. I want to say at least like 6 months, maybe.
6 months, yeah. And each state is different,
It's different, yeah.
So for me, I've done 2 states. So in Oklahoma, it took 4 months for me because I had time, so I was able to do the courses really quick. But also, so each state does things differently.
And a fees?
Fees, no
fees.
Yeah, you might pay $20 for the background check or $30 for.
Yeah, I didn't even pay for that.
Right, but they're really great at making sure they equip you, so you don't have to pay a penny.
Yep.
But you have time.
Okay, Ephraim asks, do you have to make a choice when it comes to the kids' race, age, etc.? It's kind of what
we've answered that. Yes.
Yes.
You can. But it limits.
It limits you. Yeah.
It limits you. But also, as we said, kids come to the foster care not that they are going to Disney or for fun. They are in really big problem and they need a home. So we try to think about the kid.
Right.
Yes, you can ask age. Yeah, age is really important because, again, you want to make sure that,
it fits your family.
It fits your family, But I try to stay away from rest. Like every child needs a home. Yeah. That's kind of how I take it. All right.
Brennan asks, how often do siblings get placed together? They try to do that very often. Like the priority is to keep the siblings together. So this is why for our family, we usually get sibling sets of 3. However, if they have a sibling set of 6, most likely going to have to split because first of all, there's a limit of, in North Carolina, there's a limit of 5 kids per home. That includes your biological kids.
Right.
So, if I already have 2 biological kids, they're not going to want to place me with a sibling group of 5. That would make 7 kids in my home. So they usually have to split, but only in extreme situations like that. but they try to keep them always together.
Absolutely, yeah. They try to. The last one I had, yeah, even for me, I took the 7-year-old, but our best friends who we know took the girls.
Right.
The reason was because we are close to one another and we're friends. They were separate, but they were really with each other.
They were always in contact.
Exactly. So with each other quite often, you know. The other part is age range, you know, to also behaviors. You know, you might have siblings where one is extremely cannot really adapt to your family and has to be placed in a place where they can be helped the best. But so it depends on the situation of the kids, but usually they do the best they can to make sure they don't not separate the kids.
Yes.
All right, Jonathan asks, what's the first night and week like with a new teen classmate? That would be my question. Teen, I mean, they are smart, you know, they will challenge you, but also you have to be willing to be vulnerable, to say, hey, I don't know, would you help me understand? For me, for example, I make sure that they go, if they need, let's say, even beddings, I want them to go choose what beddings they want. Yeah. Food, I take them with me to choose what food they like so they can show me what they like. So the more I involve them, the better I get to know them as quickly as possible, you know? But also consider that they have, give them room, give them space always to be able to share what they're feeling, either it's good or bad, but have a good listening ear. That really, really helps. Most of them, they just want to be heard. They want to, you know, feel like they are part of the decision that they made. Remember, with first kids, there's no decision they get to make where they go and who. So when they come to us, we want to give them that, that opportunity.
We want them to give them the options there. Yeah. Frederica asks, do you choose the child or teen or is it random? Yes, it's completely random.
Yeah, really random. But for teenagers whose parental rights have already been terminated, you can choose, you know, because you get to know them. You get to say, hey, I would like to have this child for a week or two. Get to know who they are. Right. You know, but they have, their parental rights have to be terminated for them to be able to have that time. So with teens, yes, but little ones, not so.
Not very often.
Yeah.
Miwa asks, do they stay in the same bedroom? Yes. Usually, if it's a sibling group, we always try to keep them in the same bedroom together. So, yes, in my case, we have a separate bedroom that, you know, when we had the sibling group, they always stay together. So, yes.
Right. You know, remember, they're in a strange home, in a place they don't know. So the more you keep them closer with each other, the easier they feel. They haven't lost each other.
It's easier for the transition.
Exactly. But for me, who gets older kids, so you cannot put older kids in the same bedroom. No. They have to have their own bedrooms.
Yes.
I think as long as they are 10. Yeah. Between 8 and teenagers, absolutely no. That they have to have their own bedroom, unless it's their sibling.
Yes, unless it's a sibling.
So unless they're siblings, they can stay in the same bedroom. With the but if they are not, no way. No. Yep. All
right.
Frederick asks, what are the requirements that I need in order to be a foster parent? I mean, have the heart, have the love, but also to just, I mean, I can
have the patience.
Have the patience. I can honestly say, our kids come with trauma. 99.999 of them. I mean, even some, I have friends who have biological kids, they have trauma of their own, you know? So to be aware of that the kids that come in, they're coming from a hard place. So you have to be patient, you have to be loving, and love them as who they are rather than as who you want them to be. And I think that really helps, you know, when you're willing to embrace them with their trauma, that you really get to really help them. As we said, you know, these are our kind of best friends that we know, you know? We get to know what they do, how they do, but they get to know my kids as well. Yes. You know, that I know if my kid is at their home and misbehaves, I know she will really talk to my kid in the best way possible. You know, so it's really, you know,
it's like you trust me to parent your child.
Absolutely. You know, so that's one unique thing we have to tell you. Right. It's good when you have family. And for us, I don't have family. She's from Brazil. I'm from Uganda.
Family here
but we live here. But we found ways on how we can have a community how we can have like a set of families where we get to help one another.
Right.
And so for me, that has really encouraged me in so many ways. Some days my son needs a weekend away, you know, but I know I can call them and I say, hey, can you take my son? And they always say yes. But the same for them as well. Like if they need a space, they're like, hey, can I drop my kids? I need to go shopping. But also our kids love one another.
Yes, they do. They get along well.
They get along really, really well. And that's key.
That helps.
That is key, you know, when the kids who get along. But also, I think it creates them kind of a sense of, oh, we have more families.
Right.
We belong.
Right.
That they, you know, I can tell you every Friday when I pick him up from school, he's like, so can I go to Nicholas's? I'm like, you don't want to hang out with me this weekend?
Right,
you know?
yeah.
But it's not like he does not want to hang out with me, but has another place he feels he belongs, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're trying to do, to create a space for them to feel they are known, that they belong, they are seen and heard, you know? And truly, it takes a village, you know?
It takes a village,
It
absolutely.
takes a village to raise a child. You know, and as I said, for me, to have people I trust in my life, especially like for her, you know, as a female, that there are places where I will not understand quickly, but I know I can call her and say, hey, I got a problem. Can you help? You know, and she'll get on it right away. But also sometimes too, we burn out, you know, being a false parent, we know you're asking questions, but it's not easy. It takes commitment, and you have to be willing to go through the hard time and the good time, you know. And sometimes it's hard to see the good time for a week or a month, you know, to see a good time, but you hang in there with them. And so for me, sometimes when I'm about to lay the towel out, I say, Melina, I think I'm quitting tomorrow.
Yes, I'm like, no, hang in there. You're not. You're good. You're doing a great job. You know, you just need that support, that positive word, you know, that's going to make you keep going.
Yes. You know, and also she's walked that journey that sometimes she knows when I'm being selfish, like, Peter, it's about the children, calm down. But able to tell me that and remind me like, yes, you know, so in that way, it really gives me an opportunity to be a best parent and a better parent and the best I can when I have people I trust who can be accountable to me, but also who can advocate for my kids, even when I want to strangle them, you know? And she's like, no, Peter, he's just being 14. He's a teenager. Did you forget that? I'm like,
I know.
What was I thinking, you know? So it's really a joy to walk with us. We love your questions. Please, we love to answer them. And thanks for trusting us. As we said, our answers is our experience. You know, don't go saying that's the blueprint. No, this is our experience of what we've gone through, but also how we've learned. So keep asking your questions. We love them. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. We love when you ask us questions. Hope we answered every question you asked us. And we love your fan mail too.
Like Allison from Tampa, Florida, who sent us a letter saying that one day she met somebody who changed her life forever. Her physics professor, and now 13 years later, she calls him Papa. And she says in her letter, someone believed in me. He is proud of me and loves me. Your story has touched my heart. She even bought one of the plushies to remember us and her Papa. And then also amazing. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing your story with us. And thank you for sending us your book, Children of Innocence. I can't wait to read this. I love reading. I can't wait.
Right, so like Allison, that was my life. Someone came in my life when I was my lowest and changed my life. Use words of affirmation to change my life. And that's why we created the plushie with 12 words of affirmation to encourage others as well.
Yes, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you can be alerted whenever one of our another episodes come out. And thank you all for being here. Hope to see you next time. Bye.